Hello and welcome to the channel, it's Erad, and so in today's video we are going to talk about Cloud Imperial Games' plans following the post-mortem that was released for Star Citizen 3.18 and 3.19, post-mortems that have been way overdue, given the fact that Star Citizen 3.20 now is around the corner. But not just that, we also have, these are rumors of course, take that with a pinch of salt, but it seems like there is a leaked email from Aaron Roberts, the brother of Chris Roberts, who he apparently sent an email to the staff at Cloud Imperial Games to motivate them for the release of Star Citizen 3.20 and beyond, as well as CitizenCon. And quite interestingly, it seems like the talking points of this email match quite a lot of the talking points of the video that I made about how Star Citizen will never die following the release of Starfield, where Aaron Roberts talks about how people are saying that Starfield has a technology that's far inferior to Star Citizens, and that people are enjoying the no loading screens, the no boundaries, the limitless exploration, which is basically everything I'm saying in this video. So if you want to check it out, you'll find the link right here. It's actually a pretty good video, so you should check it out if you haven't done so. Also, we have a giveaway this month. We are giving away a Drake Vulture, a Best in Show edition. All you have to do is to subscribe to the channel and answer the giveaway question that I'll be asking later in this video. Or you can also support the channel on Patreon or via YouTube Join Membership Program. You can have automatic access simply by entering your name on Discord. Alright guys, let's talk about this post-mortem here, which really features some interesting tidbits of information regarding what is going to happen in the near future. And the first thing we'll talk about here is server meshing, which of course was the new big piece of technology introduced with Star Citizen 3.18, which allowed basically what players are doing to persist in the game. So for example, let's say you have a crashed ship somewhere on a planet, you come back a couple of days later, if the server has not crashed, well, your ship will still be crashed there. You leave some trash on the floor, it will still be there, that kind of thing. But it had, of course, some pros and cons, mostly a lot of cons, and one of them being the amount of entities being spawned here that the servers had to process. Originally, the developers said that they were expecting about an increase of 10 times the amount of entities that the servers would have to process, but actually the reality was that we were much closer to 20 times the entities that servers had to process compared to before persistent entity streaming. And of course, this caused a lot of issues when it comes to bugs and server crashes that took a very long time for the developers to iron out, but it seems that right now they are satisfied with the results. So what are they going to be doing here in the future? Well, the team in charge of persistent entity streaming is mostly moving into server meshing, and they are embracing a transformation approach to the new project here. So unlike persistent entity streaming here, they are going to integrate the code base gradually. So it's not going to be boom, one big technology put into the servers and then let's see how it goes. That's not how they're going to be doing it. They will do it gradually. So part of server meshing are already available to the game team for testing right now, and combined with the Cloud Taste Launcher, this approach aims to facilitate a smoother integration process for the entirety of the static server meshing, which is going to be required to add the Pyro system. Next, the report talks about rivers. Quite frankly, I haven't seen any rivers in Star Citizen apart from 3.18 PTU, I think, or 3.17. I don't remember when they were introduced, but that's the only time I've seen a river because I've been actively looking for one. But ever since, I've just completely ignored them because they've never been where I wanted to go. No racing tracks, no placement near any outposts, unfortunately. So what didn't go well here? Here they say that the placement tool required too much manual handling, but that's not what I think didn't go well. It's just they're invisible because they're nowhere to be found. So what they would like to do in the future here, it seems like they would like to have rivers to have a more significant impact and also offer a smoother experience, but that doesn't really say how they are going to make that impact. I think that they need to place the rivers near the points of interest. That's my opinion here. And I think that we can say the same for the rock caves, unfortunately, which we also don't see that often. And I think that the reason why there's not much gameplay is because they're still in testing phase. They're still, for example, working on bigger connections, bigger room, bigger entrances, which apparently they say is a key requirement before they can replace the old caves with these caves. Next, the report moves on to the PTV track. Not too much that didn't go well here, but they do have plans to add missions to those PTV tracks so that we can have perhaps an incentive to do those PTV tracks races. Maybe they'll have something that will track race times, checkpoints, and laps. Maybe something that we'll eventually see in Arena Commander. Next, let's talk about security post-Korea, which has been completely rechanged as well. What didn't go well here for SPK? Well, the mission is still in a rough place sometimes and needs some ironing out, which is in progress. Also, it seems that more analytics are needed on sandbox activities, and in this case here, they would like to understand player participation a little bit more. In the future, they will continue to iterate on the sandbox activities and location based on the feedback they have received, and they will try to add further analytics to better understand participation. Not so much here that we know about the future of SPK. Here, Jumptown. Well, what are they going to be doing in the future here? Well, for the next run of global events, they are planning to red drop the locations on different planets to give different gameplay. For example, in thick atmosphere or higher gravity planets and forests. Are we going to see a Jumptown on Macrotech or perhaps on some kind of platform of Crusader? Well, that would be quite interesting, wouldn't it? And this is the giveaway question, by the way. Where would you like to see another version of Jumptown take place? I'd say, for example, yeah, definitely Crusader. I think plus because this will be on the platform, it will be a great opportunity to focus on atmospherical flight a little bit more and maybe have some places where vehicles will be able to be dropped down on the platform and have a significant impact. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about a possible jump down somewhere else, including Crusader. Talk next about time trials, and it seems like they're very happy with the feedback received by the community, so that's what went well. But unfortunately, poor server performance means that unfortunately sometimes the checkpoints are not working very well. For example, sometimes you go through a checkpoint, but it's not being registered as a checkpoint yet, and it takes a few seconds before finally the game understands that you've been through the checkpoint. So they would like to improve here the responsiveness of the servers. Also, infiltrate missions here on Horizon. What didn't go well? Well, they had to turn the mission off for 3.19 because they were aiming for a release of the Siege of Horizon, but they were not able to achieve that. So in the future, well, they were going to have to relocate the mission to new platform clusters, and this will be released as soon as possible. Prison activities. Well, it seems that the Ursa rover continues to spawn on the ground, and selling items at the prison kiosk isn't reliable too. Oh, that is true. With excessive AI being spawned due to a spawn closet issue. So in the future, they would like to fix any bugs that they can, including the Ursa spawning issues, which is quite a game-breaking bug indeed. Next, we'll talk about the Drake Vulture and maybe a little bit of a salvage as well. It seems that there's been a few complaints regarding the traversal of the ship, which is true. It's very annoying to go from your cockpit all the way to the cargo hold to manage the boxes and vice versa. So in the future here, they would like to release vehicles alongside their gameplay looks rather than earlier in the project, like the Starfield and the Reclaimer. And that's something that they've been striving for to do in recent times, and they'll continue to do that. But that's basically what they did with the Vulture. But it did not include every type of salvage, for example, munching, right, which we're going to have in the future. The Scorpius Antares here. Well, the Scorpius Antares is that version of the Antares with the EMP. So what didn't go well here, it seems that there have been a few technical issues that they will not be able to solve, unfortunately. So in the future, with master modes and the new MFDs, they would like to see the co-pilot get more gameplay features rather than being a half passenger and half button presser, which is basically what it is. It's not really interesting to be a co-pilot right now, but if you do enjoy being a co-pilot, please let me know in the comment section below as well. Salvage and cargo vehicle gameplay. Now, this has been quite a great addition to Star Citizen. I think this has been, for me at least, it's been the most fun addition to Star Citizen. I just love handling cargoes with tractor beams and taking cargo that I find, putting it in my ship and vice versa. So in the future here, they are going to integrate various teams on working with big features like this one, so issues can be found and investigated before being shipped into the game as a prototype, which is not something that they would like to do. Hull scraping also, well, in the future it seems that they're going to change their approach to how early other teams are going to get involved, meaning that downstream teams will get involved as early as the prototyping stage. They've also introduced additional milestones where downstream teams and content teams can review and approve the progress that they are making and move on to the next stage. When it comes to Alpha 3.19, because all of that was for 3.19, Alpha 3.19 salvage contracts here. In the future, they will choose more appropriate ships with detachable and internal components, something that's not really the case right now because some of those ships are not really interesting to salvage. I mean, who wants to salvage, for example, a Mustang, right? Not really interesting. And when it comes to the new player experience, well, they've started to work on modularizing the remaining parts of the new player experience and reduce maintenance and allow to bring this to multiple locations, not just Area 18, because, well, it's great. Area 18 is a great story location, but not everybody wants to start there. So they also need to be bringing all that signage to all the different other locations in the PU. The Lynx here. So the Lynx was actually an interesting vehicle here, but unfortunately there's not much of a scope for this vehicle. So that's maybe what didn't go so well. So in the future they would want to make sure that scope adjustments are discussed with all the teams and that they're not unnecessarily waiting for all aspects to be delivered to start their pass. Same with the Murai Fury and Fury MX here. They're pretty happy with how the Fury turned out, and no specific things occurred with their development that needs adjustment in the future. So it's kind of the opposite here with the Lynx. The Lynx has no purpose, but the Murai Fury is really filling its purpose. Finally, the report talks about the tractor beam, and they're pretty happy with that, so not much to talk about. And also mining rebalance. They want to continue improving mining in the future, and for that they're going to be listening to critical feedback from the community. So that's basically it for this post-mortem here. So these are the plans for Cloud Imperial Games in the future. Now, are they always fulfilling this plan? Of course, these are declarations of intentions. Is the reality going to be the same? Well, only time will tell, right? Anyway, that is all for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget that we got a giveaway, as I mentioned earlier, so you've already heard the question, so no need to repeat it. Please don't forget to subscribe if you like this kind of content, and if you want to go the extra mile, you have the link to the Patreon in the description down below. A big shout out to Dimitri Fortuné for becoming my latest Patreon. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Thank you so much to Dr. for being Zero Crusher and Deplorable Infidel. I've been Erad. I'll see you guys in the next one.